Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Doug with News and Views by Doug. So, today my topic of discussion is NATO, United Nations, and the United States. Now, both NATO and the United Nations were formed after the Second World War, 80 years ago. The United Nations was formed to avoid another world war, to get countries talking to each other and try to solve issues peacefully. They haven't been very successful. The NATO alliance, it's the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, was formed by the Western European states and the United States and Canada. And it was a defensive organization to combat the Russians and the Eastern Bloc. Again, 80 something years ago. The question is, does the United States need to be in both organizations now? The United Nations, I've already talked about that. They're anti-United States, but yet they're headquartered here in New York City, and they sit rent-free, and all they do is bash the United States. And this is an organization that just put Iran in the vice president seat of human rights, women's rights, all kinds of stuff. And, every time we try to do something, we get vetoed. We need to get out of the United Nations. Now, when it comes to NATO, again, 80 years ago to counter the Russian communist threat. Well, it's been 80 years. Has NATO really been our ally? We foot most of the bill for their defense. President Trump told them a little while back that if they didn't start upping their money and supporting themselves, that he was going to start pulling out. So during this Iranian conflict, several of our allies denied us access. And this isn't the first time. When President Reagan decided to go after Gaddafi after a terrorist attack in Berlin, the French told us that we couldn't fly our bombers over France to go to Libya. Our guys had to fly all around Spain, Portugal, into the Mediterranean to bomb the Libyans. Yeah, France, great ally. We only saved their ass not once, but twice. Then, here it is now. We're going up against Iran, and we've had several of the NATO allies deny us the right to use bases that we help support. And that would be England has pulled back, France, Spain, Italy. Austria even opened their mouth, and they're not a member of NATO. But these are supposed to be the guys that we're supporting in defense. Article 5 of the NATO treaty basically says an attack on one is an attack on all. They don't play that way. They don't pay their fair share. So the United States has gone back to NATO, President Trump, and basically said, you know what? We're tired of your bullshit. And we're going to start pulling troops out of your country. Now, Poland responded with, we're going to up the money. We're going to help pay our fair share. Hungary, they're another good ally. They told the other NATO countries that if they try any shit against the United States, that they would veto the decisions. Germany is panicking. President Trump said he's going to pull 60% of the troops that we have. I'm sorry, 40% of the troops out of Germany that we already have there. That not only hurts them militarily, but it hurts them economically for all the cities and towns that American troops are at. You pull those troops out, those people aren't getting any American dollars. Italy, I'm sorry, I can't even talk today. Italy is also beginning to panic. You know, what we thought was a staunch ally with their prime minister, well, she turned on Trump and she turned on the United States, and now she's in panic. I think her name's Maloney. And she's afraid the U.S. is going to pull out. Spain, they don't really care. They're being ran by a socialist president, and their king hasn't said anything. And we've got a couple of really large bases, naval bases in Spain. And you know what? My personal opinion, we don't need to defend Europe anymore. Again, it's been 80 years. Their economies are okay. They're doing well. They can pay for their own defense. They can defend themselves. We don't need the European crap. You're not going to support us? Then we don't have to support them. So anyways, folks, that's my opinion. I think we should pull out of the United Nations. We should pull out of NATO. And I don't believe in isolationism. I'm really having a difficult time talking today. I'm tired. I haven't had much sleep. But we just need to worry about ourselves for a while. Folks, that's my opinion. What's yours? I hope you stay safe. Take care.